everything I say, good luck.
I know.
So, what is this? 253 antisocial experience 253.
We just figured out it was Sunday, dude.
Paranormal. Yeah, I know. Paranormal hosts.
That's us.
Yeah. I woke up Saturday and Sunday and it didn't work. It did not work.
Friday was my Sunday, dude.
It was legit awful.
It sucks. Especially when you think like you have the routine down in your head, you're like, all right, like you knew what you got to do, and then like it gets all abrupt. Nah, it sucks.
Well, that's what I had my routine, but I woke up later than usual. So I was like, I'm gonna double duty. I'll set up and edit at the same time and get this shit banged out, get it done. Yeah, wrong day.
Yeah. It was like when I got called into Serena's that day, like I thought I had the day off, and it was like the time to like I would start work, and they're like, "No, you have work today," and I'm like, because nobody gave me the schedule. Dude, I was so mad.
Gotta love it.
So mad.
So, going on with Paranormal Host. Have you ever got into the ghost hunting thing or watched it?
I've watched it. I haven't like I've watched the Ghostbusters, I guess.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I haven't really myself, no.
Like, I don't know what to make of it. Like, I think some of it's for show, and if you've seen one show, you've seen them all, like EMF meters being set off,
Yeah.
and you know the music box that detects motion.
Yep.
There's that thing that goes off. Let me pop this up here. The music box, like that detects motion, it'll go off. It plays a creepy tune. One group has modified that motion sensing music box to make it a jack in the box that pops up. But the bad part of that is once it pops, you have to go reset it.
There's one thing that I know my buddy's kid has. It has lights to detect it. Like, so these lights will go off if there's like.
Oh yeah, it has an antenna.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget what they're called. It's not an EMF meter. It's a I forget the name for them.
It's a ghost meter.
And you got spirit boxes. You got the ones, there's apps that do it. There's devices that do it. So
it's full of like cheerleaders, pom-poms and stuff.
Probably some of the most compelling shit is when they do EVP stuff. And that's like, they'll ask a question into a recorder and then let it record a little past when they're talking, like a few seconds, and then ask another question. Then when you play it back, you can get that electronic voice phenomenon. Like, and I've seen, and granted, it's edited, it's on the internet, on YouTube. Are they playing it up? Are they adding this shit in post? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's kind of what it is. It's something that gets recorded that you don't hear at the time till you play it back. And they do play it back as they're recording it live. But being that it's an edited video, is that audio track added in afterward to appear as though it's live? That's what I question about it.
Let's face it, to keep the show interesting, they're gonna have to add shit because something's not gonna happen every time. You know what I mean?
No.
So like to keep a show going, to keep it interesting, you're gonna have to like mock up some shit. Would you agree with that?
I would agree to a sense. I mean, there's no who is the Unsolved Mysteries guy?
Robert Stack.
Yeah. I mean, even he got boring after a time.
Yeah, don't say that ever again. But yeah, you're right.
I mean, if you're watching a marathon, it'd be like, all right, Stack, get off the fucking screen, get the show on.
It's like Jessica Fletcher from Murder, She Wrote. Same deal, you know what I mean? Just to, you can only hear that typewriter go for so long.
Yeah. No, I agree. Let me switch this screen.
She saw 14 seasons worth of hour-long episodes of crimes. Like after a while, you're just like, all right, Jessica, chill out, let that one go.
What about Columbo?
Dude, what about Columbo? Like,
well, you got the originals.
That's what I'm talking about.
People like, and then you got the rehashes.
I didn't even know there was a rehash.
Yeah, they did them later on, like when he was starting to fail in life and had trouble remembering lines and shit. I guess
if he was the first run, like it was the bee's knees.
Wasn't he always eating chili?
Something like that. I haven't watched it in years. Columbo, I forgot about it, to be honest with you. That's awesome.
But no, it's how do I want to say it? Like you said, that you got to keep the show interesting.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, something's not going to happen every time. There's just no way.
Well, I mean, say you're traveling, and what a lot of these shows do is travel to haunted locations, places where, the Church of Satan or people will practice rituals, old mines, old churches, old cabins, whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what I believe or what I could prove because I'm not out to prove anything with it, but I know I've witnessed some weird shit in my life as
Yeah.
far as I can't explain it, but I don't you know what I mean? I'm also on the boat of I don't need to, but I can't totally discount it because I don't have an explanation.
Yeah, they're not getting 20% off, you know? Like,
Yeah.
there's just no way.
No, so I watch that from time to time, like, oh, there's different things I watch as I'm, editing my own stuff or doing, whether it's working on the buzz or repairs or the podcast, I'll throw other stuff
Yeah,
on
you always have
YouTube.
something going.
If I'm not doing any of that while I'm doing repairs, if I'm not recording that and that's mainly when I'm doing my own projects, I'll put something on to listen to and occasionally stop and watch.
But you do that like I do with music.
Correct, yeah,
Yeah.
and it changes, like, from season to season. Like, in the wintertime, I like watching and if you wanna call it bushcrafting or whatever, extreme camping or survivalist shit,
Yeah.
where they take and camp out, like, literally string a rope between 2
Oh,
trees,
yeah,
run a
dude.
tarp
Yeah,
off
well,
of
that
it.
dude won, like, West Decatur Woodland Way, he won that thing a couple
Yeah,
years ago. Like, you talking like that stuff.
yeah, that shit,
Yeah.
and they'll go out when it's, like, in the negatives in an incoming, like, blizzard.
Dude, it's crazy. They have to kill their food, like
Yeah. Well, I just watch the camping aspect of it, and it's like, it's great, and what they usually do rather than killing food is they'll bring stuff and, make pizza over a fire or, chick some gourmet meal that you normally wouldn't make camping.
yeah.
I don't care about that part, I just care about the experience of watching them build whatever shit little shelter that they're gonna survive in for the night.
Yeah, I like it they usually do, like, with the, thing you said with the tent, like, the above 2 but they usually have 2 logs on the sides of them. Did you ever notice that? Like,
Yeah.
it must make a bed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, something. I don't know, I'm not camping out under a fucking tarp in
Fuck,
negative
that
weather.
dude, Tony, Tattoos, he went out this past winter, like, during those freezing ass days and stayed out in a fucking tent.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Yeah, right?
No, sir.
He's a madman.
So I watch that in the wintertime because that's when people are publishing videos like that.
Right.
When it starts getting warmer out, get into whatever bikes, skating, and yeah, this paranormal shit. I'll throw it on from time to time just to, plus I will always, no matter what season, watch repair stuff, just
Yeah.
doing the repair thing. So I got to kind of pick and choose, but I can't dedicate a whole life just to watching, you
Right.
know. But and I've been watching a little bit of that paranormal stuff lately, and I'm damn. And one thing that not every show says, but I do admire about the one show that I've been watching recently or one channel is they're like, there's a lot of episodes that we don't release because we go out to a site and nothing happens. We get nothing. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, they like admit that like we went out, recorded, and it was a complete failure.
Think about that, then how do you still have episodes to put out every time? You know what I mean? Like, or are they not on a schedule?
No, it's not. It's just like people producing their own
Okay, okay,
content.
so it's not on like a weekly basis or anything, like, that makes sense to me, like, but if it was a show that they were saying that and they still had a show out every week, I'd be like, "Come on."
Oh, yeah, I think this show, I think they're kinda living off of YouTube and social media and whatnot,
Yeah,
and, that's kind of what they've turned their careers into, doing is traveling around, and have been at it for years, to be fair, but it's just I kinda admire the fact they're like, "Yeah, there's episodes that we're not gonna air them because nothing happened, it was a failure, so we packed up, left there, and, went for plan B the following day,"
yeah,
we had to where we drove 4 hours to this one place to get here and plan A failed, the next day we had to enact plan B and we had to drive 16 hours,
yeah.
because it was such a far distance or whatever, hop a flight to go here and then drive. But and it's like, you can't really, I don't want to let the honesty of the show kind of let me fall into a false belief of, oh, this shit's completely real, you know? Because I kind of do something think it, it is. You're adding to it in a sense, but also, like I said, there's shit I've seen that I can't explain, stuff I've heard about that I can't explain.
Oh, dude, there's definitely shit out there, like, there's just
And if you think about it, what are we in a sense, other than mass and, atoms and what we're energy.
yeah,
And what is that? It's energy,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And just I don't know, some of the recorded shit too, I think, is kinda crazy. Like, when you take into account that you'll go you know your gear. If you're recording YouTube or recording, a podcast and you do it off something that runs off of battery power, like our recorder here can run off battery, but I keep it plugged into a computer.
Right.
When you can run off battery power though, and you know how your gear acts, and for whatever reason, when you go out to investigate this one place for hauntings, for spirits, demons, whatever, and you just have serious drain on your camera battery, that's gotta be unexplained. Like, did you
Yeah.
forget to charge it? No, it was a full battery,
Right.
And, okay, whatever, show full battery, and then when you're off camera, switch to a half dead one. I don't know. Not trying to pick apart people's content,
Right.
just saying, but I just think it's crazy that you can have serious battery drain on stuff and just some of the things, some of the evidence that's recorded, you know? And a tale, I'm trying to think, one tale, and this is pertaining my dad and me, and I don't know exactly what about me, but he was gonna make a real drastic decision, and somebody that had never met my grandmother, and I'd never met her because she wasn't around when I was born, but somebody that had never met her, that was a friend of my dad's, hadn't seen pictures because he wasn't really a picture type guy, came to him and, like, said, "Hey, so and so, this is what they look like. I saw in a dream. This is what happened in a dream," and she said, "Don't do it." And don't do it, and called him by the nickname that his mom had called him. This person in her dream did.
Oh, wow.
Something to the effect of that thing you're thinking of doing, don't go do it, And, yeah, so explain that,
Yeah.
somebody that had never met my grandmother comes to my dad and says, "Hey, who do you know this person? They appeared in a dream and told me to tell
Yeah, wow.
you to not do that thing you're thinking about." And totally changed his mind on it, like, he was weighing one way with the decision and then ended up going another way,
Yeah,
like a pretty big decision, like, What is that? That's unexplained."
yeah, it's like 12 Angry Men shit.
What's that? I never seen that.
No? With
No,
the jurors? You never had to watch that at school?
no.
Oh, it's like a hung jury. Hold on, yeah, I'll talk not some other time.
I'll have to find this video, it's gotta be
Also, I think
online.
it's a book too, man.
It's gotta be online,
Oh,
right?
yeah, dude, there's like 10 adaptations of it, at least, I bet. It's a classic.
And it's like some of the shit that you would get shown at schools, at least in our day, man, like, at least they were done running reefer madness by the time we got
Yeah,
through
but
school.
dude, did you get the box? The box of drugs that showed you what the drugs looked like and smelled like, and did you get that?
I got the big board of actual drug paraphernalia samples, like,
Yeah,
bolted in bags,
yeah,
bolted to it to go
right,
up and look what
but,
everything
like
looked like.
but they would pass some of it around, some of it was like, you come out and they pass some of it around. I
Yeah,
was like, "Dude, all you did was educate us."
yeah,
Now I'm not gonna get ripped off. It was like Dr. Mario, you know what I mean? Like, dude, we ain't playing Tetris, we're stacking pills, yo, that's all it was to it. Dr. Mario was the setup for the opioid crisis.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
you
definitely
you
agree.
can't not, you know?
And like that there and the shit with my dad's friend's dream, you can't explain that, but that's the best explanation that we got?
Bummy's house, he's having one heck of a problem. He doesn't know what happened there or whatever, but, like, there's a thing that's in a white shirt that, like, goes in and out of his house, like, I mean, it's nuts, dude, and it makes him, like, I don't know, he's like, "I feel like I'm nuts," but, like, his, fiancé sees it, like, it's just there,
Right.
like, it's crazy.
Another one other such thing, um, fuck if I can remember it now, I just went totally blank. One other So there's that. Oh, one other such thing is depending on the person, because there was a few people that were friends of my dad's that his mom, my grandmother,
Yeah,
didn't care for, and uh, if they were visiting or something, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I wouldn't talk about her." And this is after she was gone. He's like, "Yeah, I wouldn't bring it up." And it did, and shit would start banging around, getting knocked off counters.
no shit.
This is, second, third hand information coming from my dad, from his friends, like, "Yeah, I was there. He told me shut up, I didn't, and this is what happened," you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I never nothing never being smashed around and breaking, but there was quite some, like, banging and knocking happening the one time, and I was whenever he was telling me about this, and I'm like, "You're crazy," 'cause as a kid, and I'm like, "Ghost." I'm like, "That's not real."
Yeah.
I'm like, "You're telling me that your mom is a ghost?"
Yeah,
And
like
I'm like, "You're crazy." And just shit went off in the house for, I don't know, good 20 seconds or so, and I'm like, I shut up." Like, I had no explanation for it. Nobody else was there. Just me and my dad. I'm like, "Yep. Nope." Not and I'm not a full believer, like I said, but I can't explain that.
no. I guess like you said, it's energy, man. It's like, did Patrick Swayze really make that pottery that good on that wheel being a ghost? I doubt it, you know what I mean?
Y
Like, there's
that's
just no way.
that's what I was gonna do for the thumbnail day. I was gonna have our 2 cartoon characters, our representative
Yeah.
cartoon characters, in front of pottery wheels with ghosts standing behind them.
That'd been hilarious, dude.
I'll save it for a Halloween
Dude, it
episode or
kills me.
something.
Whoopi Goldberg shows up, like, "Holy shit, we need to shut this down."
Right.
If Whoopi walks in here, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out.
Me too, right after I
Yeah.
get an autograph and a selfie.
Yeah, Sister Act 2.
No, like, there's that
Oh,
and
did
what
did you know about that podcast going to that Ravenwood Manor this weekend?
no, who was it?
It's that one your mom watches, I think, or listens to?
Oh, they went Ravenwood's close to us,
Yeah,
right?
Beccaria.
It's up is that where they have the haunted house?
Yeah, yeah, it's that mansion.
That place, you could not pick a better spot to have a haunted house.
Yeah, I
You
know, dude.
couldn't.
No. No, you're
Even
100%
when
right.
it's not dressed up as a haunted house, you go stand outside and look at it, you're like, "Fuck no. Nope.
Yeah, it's a
Mm,
haunted
I'm
house.
not going in there."
No, but I guess they went up this weekend. I'm interested to hear what kinda happened. I don't follow that stuff, but since it was there, I was kinda like, "Well, I'd probably
Yeah.
listen to that episode," you know what I
Oh, I'm
mean?
glad you brought it up. I'm gonna check that out and see
Yeah.
what happened with it.
I just
Just
saw, like, a you know what I mean, like an ad or something for it somewhere.
yeah, I don't know. I'm always curious when something comes to somewhere local to us.
I always wanted them to do, like, the Phillips and stuff like that because like, my gram told me, my gram's 82. She told me, like, they when she like, her junior high dances and shit, like, they used to be upstairs in that ballroom. So, can you imagine, like and then that used to be an old folks home, the people that have
There's a
passed.
ballroom upstairs
Yeah, dude, the top floor is a ballroom.
in the big square brick
No,
building.
the Phillips, yeah, the top floor is an entire just a big ballroom, dude.
How do you get that type of structure up there?
Yeah, that's why I guess you can walk out on the you know what I mean? That's why you see the rails outside because you can walk out on that and, like, look out over Phillipsburg.
We're gonna be ghost hunters now.
Dude, did you know where the, BTO or whatever is? There used to be a huge ass building there, like, a huge.
I can remember
This was burnt down in,
BTO.
like yeah, this burned down in, like, 1920 something. But, dude,
Yeah.
you should have seen the size of this thing.
You saw photos?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I'll show you when we're done here, like, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I just remember BTO, and then I remember the car, like,
Oh,
Conklins.
Conklins, yeah, yeah. But no, dude, there was a building there, I mean, enormous. And then, like, where the I told you about where the towers are.
So it was on a corner too, so it had to be an enormous
Dude, it
building.
was huge.
Like, there was no little side alley
No,
there,
no, dude,
no parking lot.
huge, huge.
Damn,
But then, like, where the towers are, there was that big hotel there, the Passmore House, it was called. It was a huge hotel where the towers are across the street from me.
damn.
Yeah.
We got some history in
Dude,
town.
I'm telling you, this place was booming, man. But again, I feel like there would be a lot of ghost shit going on, you know?
Who
Especially the
knows?
Phillips, man. It was an old folks' home too, for a while. Like, after it closed down as a hotel, it was Windy Hill before Windy Hill moved to Windy
Which
Hill.
place?
The Phillips Hotel. When I was a kid, it was the old
Oh,
folks'
okay.
home.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
before it reopened.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's just some of the places and some of the places that aren't here now. Like, imagine the history of that meatpacking plant that got
Yeah.
knocked down, and then what was the building beside it, the initial purpose of that place?
I forget what that was, dude. Wasn't that no, that was about clothing, I think, textile.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah. Or, like, where the CMB Bank is, that huge church that used to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, dude.
Yeah, no, definitely possibility of some spooky shit,
And
and it's
then
just gone, wiped off the map
here's
now.
a good one for you, the 4th Street Church, okay? When you're coming down 4th Street, it's on the right going up Presco. You're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah.
There was an original church there. It was wood. They picked it up and moved it to Altoona, dude, and then that one was built. They picked up the entire church and moved it to Altoona in, like, 1910.
Who moves a
It's
church?
You tell me, but they moved the entire church, and then they built this one a couple years later, but yeah. So the
Wow.
original structure, yeah, was picked up and moved, like, to Altoona. And I'm trying to figure out now if the structure still stands, you know what I mean? Because that's interesting.
The church, yeah.
Yeah.
There's pictures of the wooden church there?
Yeah, yeah,
Dude, that's nutty.
yeah.
I wanna start learning about this history shit with you.
Dude, it's so much fun. It's really interesting, man, especially just because it's our town, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely always into local shit. Like, it always kinda fascinates me when you can learn something interesting that you didn't know about where you are, where you're from,
Mhm.
you know? After all, it is Phillipsburg, sunny place for shady people. Gotta find out about that. If you get that tagline, you
Dude,
gotta know
that's
what's going
awesome.
on.
That is awesome. To tell the truth too.
Now, one other unexplained occurrence, and a couple people have seen it, just past people in my life, whatnot, my daughter's mother and other people, is I was staying in a place where my dad said he lived as a child, baby. I don't know. I can't verify it because there's nobody that old, and there's kind of a gap between some of his brothers are gone. His sisters, there's some of them still hanging on, but I believe he was the oldest.
Okay.
And this is out of his mouth. Now, it could be BS, could not be. But just like you said, when you see something out of the corner of your eye and like been walking and just like been walking, went to turn into a room and like step back because you see something and it's there for a second and then just gone. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, was that really something just not literally playing peekaboo, but literally something being like, "Do you see me? What is that?" You know?
Yeah,
Your mind playing tricks on you? That's what most people would lay it on, I'm willing to bet. Just you're tired, you had a stressful day, a long day at work, whatever.
I can almost separate that thing, you know what I mean?
But,
Like,
like, multiple times I've seen it.
yeah, and I've heard things too before, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
unexplainable shit, man.
yeah, no, I did that's what did too when I was mocking my dad,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, your mom is not haunting anything as a ghost and shit going nutty, like, thumping, knocking, banging in the house." And I'm like, "Alright, nope."
We're done here.
Yeah. Yeah, I shut up, man. Like, for a non-believer, I shut up real quick. And, yeah, it just and, like, the first time I saw it, I had to go get my daughter's mother and be like, "Am I nuts? Do you see something?" I, like, had her repeat what I had done, and she's like, "I don't see nothing." And then I got woke up the one night of her in a panic, like, "I just saw it." I'm like, "What?"
Dude, do you ever get sleep paralysis?
No, that's some spooky shit that I
Dude,
hope never
dude,
happens.
that is one of the scariest fucking things I've ever been through in my life.
Sleep paralysis?
Yeah, where you wake up, but you can't move any parts of your body.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
just your eyes,
yeah,
like, literally.
yeah, dude, it's horrible. Like, it's happened to me a couple times. Sucks, dude. Like, you're doing everything you can to lift your arm, and you can't do anything. Like, it's
That's insane.
yeah, it's one of the worst
And
things
they
ever.
haven't explained that, have they? Why it happens,
Nope. Yeah,
why and how it happens.
yeah, it's fucking wild, dude.
That's
It
like
scares the shit out of you.
it's like right when that happens, one of the grays from any science fiction film where the X-Files walk in with some big probes. "You're
Uh-huh.
next."
Yeah, it's called the Nancy Drew. You know what I mean?
No. There's something that's said to happen that people see kind of when they have sleep paralysis, and one of the figures is the not Slender Man. Slender Man's an internet thing. But one of the figures that people see when they're in sleep paralysis, and they'll usually see them in doorways or looking through windows, is like a shadowy figure wearing a wide brim hat. Like
Yeah,
not cowboy, like more
a Kentucky Derby.
like pilgrim,
Okay.
Mayflower type
Yeah,
fucking hat, a wide brim hat like that.
with a buckle.
Yeah, right. You ain't seen no buckle, but it's like a shadowy figure that will be staring at them whenever they're in sleep paralysis. Like if they can manage to see their door, see the window from where they are,
Oh,
they've reported seeing this wide brim hat figure.
dude,
That's kinda fucking creepy,
dude,
man.
I'm telling you, like,
'Cause I've never went through it, and from what you say and what I've heard other people say, that's gotta be terrifying. You can't move. You're awake.
you can't move anything, and you're doing everything you can to move.
You
You know?
can't can you talk?
No.
Just nothing. You're just awake.
Yeah.
and you can move your eyes.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah, it's fucking scary, dude.
Yeah, no,
Especially, like, the
that's
first time it happens because 'cause you're like, "What the fuck?" You're like, yeah, I thought I was dead. Like,
yeah.
I was like
Yeah, I mean, what else could you think
that's
if it
what I
had
mean,
never
like, yeah.
happened? Unless you happen to be studying about sleep paralysis right then, like,
Like,
and trying
holy
to become an expert
shit.
on it.
Yeah, yeah, it's scary stuff.
And just imagine though, like, waking up like that and then seeing something you can't explain, like something from the paranormal world, and you're there stuck like that, like,
Dude, I don't wanna see anything like that. Yeah,
combination of
yeah.
that though would be you would as a person, I would lose sleep for weeks if I woke up and saw some shit that I couldn't tell you what it was and wasn't able to move, like, and get away, you know? That's my take on that.
Yeah. Well, let's shut this down.
Yeah. What
I
time
got
is
the perfect tagline anyway, so just roll it.
it? What are we rolling?
Just say your goodbyes.
I always say the goodbyes.
I just say them now because I'm gonna shut it down.
Remember, people, new audio episodes published every Sunday at 5 p.m. Last week's show was a little short. Co-host Jimmy wasn't feeling well, so at the end, I went in and just recorded a bit of a voiceover to the episode and detailed out the stories dealing with bullies, just to flesh out the episode, flesh it, give a little bit more substance to the stories. Made the episode a little longer, and just it gave some more detail, and just got some more words recorded basically to expand on it. I'll say that. That should be publishing today at 5. Good evening, Michael. You're savage for being up this late. I know it's late for you, but thank you. We appreciate it. And I think I'm gonna end it there.
All right. Well, we're gonna end it here, dude. We ain't afraid of no ghosts.